Don't get caught in the midlife style trap. In 2026, modern midlife women wears life differently than women in our same age range did 10 to 20 years ago. Yet, have you walked into a Nordstrom's or Macy's or other retail store and felt like clothes for us and the life we live today have been entirely ignored? I'm Lynette, life architect and founder of Iconic Global, and this is the Life Redesign Salon. Every week, we talk about what it actually takes to build a life in midlife on your own terms, not by default, by design. Growing up in a very creative family, I used to make about 75% of my clothing until I was about 41, custom crafted to fit my style. But most midlife women must sift through clothes designed for Gen Z or millenniums or maybe even the early boomers or even earlier with the silent Gen. Clothing styles have not kept up with the midlife woman who is still stylish, youthful, and classic, yet bold. No, we haven't been forgotten. We've been ignored, dismissed. It's a world that caters to the young, the next new thing. Yes, there are midlife women who are kicking and scratching to hold on to the younger selves that they like no. And I say younger versus youthful because youthfulness is not an age, but a mindset. In all the fashion magazines, all we see are the defiant, pouty, indifferent poses of Gen Alphas and Zs who are also used in the adverts to combat aging to sell to our generation. How are midlife women to get noticed in a world that makes being young the standard to measure against? Marketing and its society piss us against the teens and the 20 somethings to make us work for visibility, attention, and even relevance. We must let that go. And why would we compete? The goal of getting attention relies on others looking at you, validating you. Whereas we must command attention and relevance by showing we are deserving in how we carry ourselves. I will say, however, that scrouching around for clothing for us, there's nothing funnier or disastrous than being in a fitting room trying on jeans, but you can't get them past your ankles, or in my case, my oversized calves. And then there was a time I tried on this Prada dress. Oh, I wanted it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. And it fit everywhere. And then it came to put my arms into the sleeves. I couldn't get them through the sleeves. The sleeves were made for twigs. So the struggle is real. I understand that for us midlife women. And but what I don't like is using the phrase age appropriate. To tell us midlife women to wear age appropriate clothing is telling us to be smaller, quieter, and to blend into the background. Something I definitely won't do or be doing. And I hope the same for you. Women, especially in midlife, are judged by the way they dress. If you dress too conservatively, you risk being invisible or resign to fit the moo and sensible shoes stereotype. That is totally not me. And if you dress too young, people or society dismisses you as trying too hard. That's a harsh judgment when all you are wanting to do is to look good. But society wants to put an expiration date on your ability to look good. It's crazy, especially since most of our younger decades, we were trying to dress the way that we felt we should to fit in or to be accepted. Now we get to choose how we style ourselves based on our own needs and desires. So, what you define as age appropriate for you is entirely up to you. But what we must not allow is people deciding who we are or who we've chosen to become based entirely on what we are wearing. My style is haute classic, 50s chic and elegant with bold punches of color. And on a side note, based on my channel branding, can you guess my favorite brand and color? Yes, the style that I like is timeless. To me, it's very elegant, but to me, it is also very always in style. Picture Michelle Obama, Princess Caroline, Laura Petrie from the Dick Van Dyke Show. That is so my style. But I equally love athleisure clothing, leggings in the solids, but also bold colors and prints. I dress for the occasion. I grew up in the Midwest and also under religion. So my style of dress was always front and center. And remember, I said I grew up in a very creative family and we were known for being stylish. However, dressing for the occasion can also be environmental. Because I recall going to the opera in San Francisco and me and my party, we were dressed formal. But so many people were in sweats, jeans, t-shirts, and sneakers. And yes, I understand California can approach dressing very casually. With the decades of living life comes the wisdom and lessons born out of experiences. And those experiences can show your authority and be expressed by dressing for status, competence, and show your personal power, which surely beats out dressing for trendy Gen Z or Y compliance every single time. You have the self-authority to reclaim those clothing pieces that are often labeled too young, like what I have, the sleek leather biker jacket, graphic tees or the dark denims and maybe even the skinny jeans. You get to make them your own with a redesigned style with your matured flavor. Let it be your manifesto. Your clothing becomes an external manifestation of your hard-earned boundaries and your life history. The age-appropriate topic comes up many times as a companion to the comfort versus frumpy dress topic. Dressing our age could be inferred to dressing for comfort and be labeled as dressing frumpy. I don't think I will ever get there, but time will tell. But what I will say is that there comes the time for a woman in any age range, based on their physical characteristics, when they must consider styles that does not require physical pain, sky-high heels, or shapewear that restricts your breathing. I know about the shapewear as I grew up having to wear a girdle on my little small frame as a child. And I will also say that I have what I call car shoes, where they are for walking to the car and from the car to a seat in the restaurant or the theater. They're there to look beautiful, not to be walking and dancing around. However, I am known to be wearing comfortable stiletto heels and dancing around, and I'm in comfort. But even at my most stylish, I am comfortable. What may look and feel comfortable to you won't be the same for someone else. However, there are clothing selections with hidden details that will allow increased comfort if that is what your body needs. For example, the nice trousers with the flat front waistbands and the elastic backs that look tailored but can feel like sweatpants. And then there are the jeans with built in tummy control if you've been battling the bulge in the midsection. And then there are front fastening wireless bras with soft front clasps that prevent uncomfortable twisting required to get into a regular bra. And there are other items such as pants with discreet side zippers or snaps that allow a wider opening, which reduces the need for you to have to bend down and step into the legs of the pants and be toppled over. Tell me in the comments, what styles provide you comfort? A style secret that can turn any frumpy clothing that you may have into a stylish item is getting the aid of a tailor. The tailor can nip and tuck the item, redo the seams, giving it a completely new and chic look. What we don't want to do is look careless when what the look we are really going for is maybe a relaxed look. There's a big difference between a graphic, oversized faded hoodie thrown over pajama pants and a cashmere dome sleeve sweater layered over cigarette pants, straight leg jeans, or leggings. Always go for relaxed chic. One thing I will caution though, for us midlife women, I caution us into falling for every micro trend, whether it be clothes or shoes. Caving into the trends can lead to impulse buying and leave you with a closet packed with clothes, but absolutely nothing really to wear. Because the trend might be fleeting, or maybe you can't pull off the look, or you can't pair it with your tried and trues. Impulse buying trends can lead to what I call the empty closet syndrome, where you have things in your closet, but you can't really wear them. So before you buy, ask yourself, would this be something I could wear 6, 12, or 18 months from now? And does the style really fit who I am becoming? Your style is your identity and environment made visible that people will see every single day. Your style speaks to those around you and tells who you are. It can tell others you're elegant and timeless, or trying too hard, or that you've completely but quietly given up. So whether you're going from corporate to bohemian, structured to fluid, whatever your actual style redesign is, it speaks to the decisions on top of it. What does choosing a specific style means, and how does it serve you? That makes your closet part of the same redesign as everything else in your life. What I would suggest when you are trying to figure out what your style is to use the 3-word framework. And what that is just defining your unique midlife aesthetic by using 3 descriptive words that you feel speaks to who you are and how you feel when you wear the items, how you see yourself when you look in the mirror, whether it's polished, creative, effortless, or maybe it's bohemian, artistic, yogi. My style continues to be timeless and classic, elegant, joyful, with color punches. But I will say that my style has evolved with each decade. Designers or brands that I used to gravitate toward, I now buy different brands. But the essence of my style has basically been consistent. Comment below and tell me the brands that were your go-to that you no longer buy. Once you have defined your style, buy or make clothing that anchors it. Once you have a style anchor, it will serve as a mental boundary when you are out shopping, keeping you from buying items that don't fit the anchor, that don't fit your style aesthetic. This can save you thousands of dollars buying the wrong items and hours of decision fatigue. As I mentioned, my style has evolved. Less conservative, corporate with a lot more feminine flair, yet all anchored in a classic genre. The style anchor you choose today does not mean it can't change 2, 3, or 5 years from now. It can adapt as you transition out of corporate roles or scale back family duties or whatever phase your life is in right now. As you begin dressing for the woman you are now or the woman you are becoming, tell me in the comments what's still hanging in your closet from a version of you that's already gone. Wherever you are in midlife, I'm glad you're here. This channel is about one thing: living by design, not by default.